Hey, good morning. This is Miss G. I am back again with another Algebra 1 tutorial. Today I want to talk about order of operations. It is also known as PEMDAS. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. You guys heard that probably in elementary or junior high school, but I find that students get mixed up. They understand the mnemonic or the saying, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally, but they totally forget what it means. So we're gonna go over that today, and I've chosen a problem, so let's get into it. All right, so I wanted to choose one with brackets that had many levels so that we can practice it. All right, so when we look at PEMDAS, the first thing we have to go back to is the P, and the P represents multiplication. So the P is parentheses or brackets, and you are going to multiply. All right, so what we have in ours is an 8 minus 3. So that's going to give us 5, all right? So let's go ahead and rewrite the problem as it is. So I have 6 times 2. Now I have a 5 Okay, so we've done our first thing inside the brackets. Now we got a 5. We still have to go back to the P and ask ourselves, do we have anything inside parentheses? And we do. We have this 2 and this 5 that's in parentheses. So the product of 2 and 5 is 10. 2 times 5 is 10. So let's do it. All right, so now we go back to the P. We ask ourselves, do we have any parentheses? No, we don't. Do we have our second step, any exponents? We do not have exponents at this step. Do we have multiplication? We do. So the product of 6 and 10 is 60. All right, let's go back to P. No parentheses, no exponents. We do not have multiplication. We don't have addition, but we don't have division, but we do have addition. So the sum of 11 and 4, we're adding 11 plus 4 is 15. All right, so again, we go back, no parentheses, no exponents, no multiplication, no division, no addition. Why did I mess it up? We do have division. We have division. All right, so when it looks like a fraction, we know that that is division. So 60 divided by 15, I want to say it's 5, but I need to be accurate. So let me get a calculator. So the quotient means division. The quotient of 60 and 15 is 4. Gosh, I would have been so wrong. So we have our solution. I'm going to do one more problem. Just give me a moment. Okay, so we're going to do another order of operations problem, but first we need to do some substitution. Okay, so as we can see above, it's told us what we want to substitute the problems for. So we have a 10 minus a 1, 10 minus, what's B? 2, 10 minus 3, and again 10 minus 10. So here's another challenge I find that students struggle with. they need to remember that you do math from left to right, just like you read a book from left to right. Although I do know there are other countries where you read from right to left, but here in America, which is what this video is, where this video is from, we read from left to right. Okay, so in English we read from left to right. All right, let's get to it. So 10 minus 1, or the difference between 10 and 1 is 9. The difference between 10 and 2 is 8. The difference between 10 and 3 is 7. And the difference between 10 and 10 is 0. Obviously, I didn't have to write the 0, but I decided to put it down anyway. All right, again, still moving from left to right. The product of 9 and 8 is 72. And I'm just going to bring everything else down. I'm not going to bring down the 0 because at this point we can get rid of it. So then the product of 72 and 7 is 504. All right? So that's an important thing. You want to move from left to right when you're solving your problems. All right, this is our last order of operations, our last problem where we're going to solve using PEMDAS. All right, P parentheses. We have a parentheses right here. So the difference between 9 and 6, or 9 minus 6 is 3. All right, look back to the P. We do have another P. It's the product of 2 and 3. So 2 times 3 is 6. Okay, there is a plus sign here, so I won't leave the parentheses or the bracket. So now we're just finding the sum of 13 and 6, which is 19. Okay, so actually this time, this is our last order of operations, okay? So we're gonna substitute M for 3, substitute N for 10. Every time we substitute, we should put it inside parentheses so that we can remember the operations. Often I find students will write it down as a number and they would end up writing 310 instead of realizing it's the product of 3 and 10. Minus 5, and then Y we're substituting for 0, A for 1, and then B for 2. Okay, so we need to go look at P for PEMDAS. We got parentheses, so that's saying 3 times 10, or the product of 3 and 10, which is 30. Negative 5 times 0, there's no work, that's just 0. And the sum of 1 and 2, or 1 plus 2, that's 3. We look at our PEMDAS. We're at the step of division. 30 divided by 3 is 10. Okay, I do hope the video helped you today. Just to remember, when you're solving order of operations, always go back to the first step. So always go back to check, do I have parentheses? Do I have brackets? After that, you want to make sure you do your exponents. Do I have any exponents that I have not done? And then you go back to see. If you have multiplication or division, you're going to do whatever comes first from left to right. Always from left to right. So if you see multiplication and you see division, you're going to do the multiplication first if it's on the left, or the division first if it's on the left. And then the same with addition and subtraction. You're going from left to right. So if the addition is first, then you do the addition. If the subtraction is first, then you do subtraction. Either way, go from left to right, okay? All right, I do hope you enjoyed this video. I may even make a part 2. And I look forward to seeing you soon. Please leave a comment. Thank you for coming. Bye.